Mr. Chairman, we all want the same thing. We want every American who wants a job to have a job. We want those jobs to be real productive employment. And a jobless recovery is no recovery for the millions of Americans on the unemployment line, and that's basically what we have. I'm really surprised that we're even debating the need for a new stimulus in light of our experience with the old stimulus. It was just a year ago today that the Obama administration and congressional Democrats really sold the American people on the idea of a government stimulus as a way to create 3.5 million jobs by the end of 2009 and to cap unemployment at 8%. The chairman mentioned his Republican colleagues. Well, you know, to the person, we warned that the stimulus wouldn't work and that those were overblown promises. We said the way to fix an economy that had been distorted by government meddling was not for the government to meddle further. And we continue to believe that the answer is not growing government. Our warnings were not realized, and I think it's time to reevaluate the current course of action, which is just to grow government and more government response, which pulls money out of the private sector. The last thing America needs is a sequel to the so-called stimulus, which only succeeded in adding hundreds of billions of dollars to the debt, an unsustainable debt, and one that I think is a physical catastrophe waiting to happen. The time has come, Mr. Chairman, and this Congress to stop pretending we can spend our way out of recession caused by excessive debt by borrowing and spending yet more money we just don't have. That's not the way that American families recover, by spending more and borrowing more when they're deeply in debt, and that's not the way the government ought to address it. Before he became the chief White House economic advisor, Larry Summers famously asked, "How long can the world's biggest borrower remain the world's biggest power?" We must remember this as we go forward. Unless and until we take the steps necessary to put our house in order, our financial house in order, we will not have an economy capable of producing the kind of jobs that sustain families and communities. We can't continue to waste billions of taxpayers' dollars on job creation schemes which fail to produce jobs. What we need are new solutions that will put Americans back to work without burdening future generations with crushing deficits. A good first step would be to abandon the administration's health care and cap-and-trade proposals, which are freezing small business in place and impeding economic recovery, and focus on policies that promote growth and investment. There's only one way and one way only to spur the creation of new jobs. It is to take the heavy hand of government off the economy's neck and take the government's hand out of ordinary people's pockets. That will let business make what it knows how to make best, and people to have enough money to buy the things they need. The government doesn't make jobs. People create jobs by making things and buying things. Jobs created by government spending, especially in the public sector, take money out of the private sector where most productive jobs are created. So, Mr. Chairman, I want to take a page from President Obama's playbook and invite you and the congressional Democrats and the President to come work with us. Let's pass a financial regulatory reform bill that fixes what's wrong without wrecking what isn't. Let's do the same thing with health care, and let's give businesses and families some certainty about what their income picture will be like for years to come, so they can start budgeting for spending again without worrying what their government will do next. Increased taxes and failure to be able to meet our obligations. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing. I look forward to the testimony of the witnesses.